Dear Vincent, I'm writing you a letter because I feel like you are someone who would understand how I've been feeling lately in my art journey, and also because I know you liked writing letters, and I imagine if you were still alive today that you would enjoy receiving one too. I'm writing this letter to you while sitting on a bench under an oak tree overlooking a vast stretching view of a cornfield with rolling hills. The amount of greens before me is somewhat overwhelming to the eyes, yet I can't look away. This landscape is absorbing in its beauty. When I look up at the sky, the clouds are moving ever so slowly, puffing into obscure but also sometimes recognizable shapes. I'm pretty sure this is a landscape you would have liked to paint. I noticed recently, when I really started to look, that a lot of the landscape where I live now is very similar to scenes that you painted. I started watching and noticing the poplar trees, the fruit trees, and even how the water in the river reminded me of your flowing short brushstrokes. I then spent the next week creating art inspired by your style and the scenes around. When I look at your beautiful artworks, I see how you were really able to capture the essence of the scenery before you. You really looked at the world and were able to capture those colors, the mood, the environment, in ways that to this day still amazes millions of people around the world. Just recently, news broke that one of your paintings has a secret self-portrait hidden beneath, one that no one had known about until now. When that news broke, it got me thinking about how we see ourselves as artists and the layers of the self that we are continually trying to understand and make peace with. The need to express ourselves with our art and pursue this passion wholeheartedly, but also the fear of doing just that. The skies overhead now are changing. A storm is rolling in. A deer just darted out the forest behind me and has run bleating out into the cornfield. Yet despite all this, I'm still sitting here writing this letter to you. I heard somewhere that you were so passionate about painting that it didn't matter if it was raining. You were still willing to go outside and experience the world, come rain or shine. Your determined spirit is inspiring. You love to paint, and that is just what you did. I'm currently at this point in my art journey where I know that art is what I really want to keep doing every day. But I've been faced with some challenges that have made me question whether I can really sustain myself doing what I love. I know this is something you would probably understand. When I come out into nature, it's like all that doubt just stops. My head clears and I find myself concentrating on the quiet around me, the brightness of the colors, and the sounds of the wind rustling in the trees. I hear the birds chirping and the crickets, and like right now in this moment, the thunder rumbling. I start to realize that doubts and fears are insignificant when I remember that I'm part of this amazing world that just exists. It doesn't demand anything or expect anything, it just is. It continues to grow and flourish by just living. I'm starting to feel some raindrops now, and the storm is starting to get more intense. I don't know if I'm as brave as you, Vincent, to paint outside in a storm. I ended up packing up to leave, and I'm now at home continuing to write this letter. But I must tell you something that happened on the walk home that reminded me that, yes, I am brave, maybe in different ways. As I was walking down the path in the rain, I saw a log type of thing on the path in front of me. I kind of stopped to look closer, and there, right in front of me, was a snake. And you know, Vincent, one thing that never occurred to me during the whole time was to feel any fear. The snake was really calm, and so was I. Snakes have a lot of different meanings, some good, some bad, but seeing this one today while I'm in the middle of writing this letter to you really makes me think of how snakes are a creature that continually sheds its old skin to emerge renewed, a stronger version of self, a sort of natural healing. Maybe this snake carries that message for me, that despite the fears and doubts, the layers of myself that I sometimes struggle with, despite all that, I'm really strong too. I have strong layers too, some really great parts that I need to let shine, to let grow, and to turn my attention to. I just saw a snake and it started to rain. And I almost stepped on the snake, but luckily I did not. But wow, the sun is shining. Oh man. I better watch where I'm walking. Really don't want to have any more snake encounters, but that was pretty cool. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's kind of terrifying. Life has a lot of obstacles, some that sometimes feel out of our control, but there are also so many beautiful, hopeful moments that are beyond reassuring on this journey. I look at your art, Vincent, and I see hope. The one time that I did get to see your art in person at a museum in the Netherlands, I think my heart kind of stopped for a bit. I was filled with a sense of amazement and wonder. You really have always been such an inspiration, your curious view of the world and how you interpreted that into so many different artworks. If only you had gotten to know in your lifetime how much your art has inspired. As I'm sitting here in my kitchen continuing to write this letter to you, I'm looking out the window and I see across the road there is in somebody's garden this big, beautiful sunflower. I know that you really liked painting sunflowers. They're one of my favorite flowers too. We see how sunflowers are at their brightest and in full bloom when they are facing the sun. When the sun disappears, they bend their heads momentarily, but they never cease to be a sunflower, and as soon as the sun appears again, they lift their heads happily, ever hopeful for that return of beautiful sunshine. I love how much earthly treasures like sunflowers can really remind us to always look ahead to that sun returning, even if there is an occasional moment of darkness or uncertainty. Keeping hope alive is so important. I always want to remember that, Vincent, and to always remain grateful for all of this light and knowledge that the earth keeps unconditionally giving. How lucky we are to have been able to experience this life on earth.
So I just finished this painting, kind of inspired by Van Gogh's Sunflowers. And this was really a lot of fun to make, and just so nice to paint outside here, like under this apricot tree.
I get the sense that a lot of your paintings are an ode to the earth and the world that you experienced around you. Walking around the town and countryside where I'm living now, I continually see moments that I want to capture either in a photograph or in an artwork. This nature has been somewhat magical to me, with little creatures appearing out of nowhere, much to my curious delight. There's been so much inspiration for my art that I find myself always wanting to paint and draw. I love this feeling, the creative surge. It's a beautiful driving force to keep going, to keep creating despite all the obstacles. And when it does get dark, to look to the stars. Your Starry Night painting is etched in my mind forever. So Vincent, I know this has been quite a long letter, but writing it has really reminded me of all the wonders of creating art and why I should keep going on this art journey, one step at a time forward. The world is full of wonder and inspiration, aspects you captured so beautifully in your art that has moved so many people. Thank you for sharing your view of the world with us, Vincent. I've loved experimenting with your style. I found so much joy in the process of each painting, a joy that keeps my art dreams alive and thriving inside. I hope you won't mind if I share this letter with some people. Maybe some other artists out there can relate to the sentiments of this letter. I do wish you could respond, but I know that if I just have to take a look at any one of your paintings, I can hear your message. I imagine you saying something like, Lauren, embrace the world around you and keep painting.